Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's session for Bhakti Vaibhava. Today, yes, in the previous session we studied till we recited first sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, and today we will discuss about it. First sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam. But before that, I got one idea that like we have Subodhini, and Subodhini came by the students only. When we were studying in Vidyapit, so we were given some projects that how to uh, projects to read the Bhagavatam and Acharya's commentary also and find out the sutra links between shlokas and all, make a flow. The students made the project, and then it was modified. Then finally it came as Subodhini, the student project only. Very good. So I am thinking that we can do some project so that we can produce something, and not only that, but it can help us in our study. For example, Subodhini is mainly made links with the shlokas, verse between verse, but it doesn't deal with the purpose of Srila Prabhupada. So one idea I had, like I had my note on the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in Bengali when we were doing from Mayapur Institute, we were doing one course called Bhagavad Vichar for Mayapur community devotees. So we used to have it every Sunday, one chapter. So I used to make note for entire week, and before Sunday I would make a PDF and print out and give it to all the students for each chapter. So I made for entire first canto based on like Prabhupada's purport, Acharya's commentaries, everything. So that's there with me. So now similarly, idea is that we can do note for further cantos, or from first canto onwards we can do notes like this that can help us in our self study also. So one simple idea: whenever you study something, make a note. And how to make note? Write down something. Like idea is that if you study one paragraph, for example, you study the book. Yeah. So this is the 1.1.1 first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, let me share the screen. Yeah, this is 1.1.1. So first of all, you study this translation and think, read it once or twice or needed thrice. Screen share is loading. What's wrong today? Everything is slow. Text stop, I show. Why should it? Okay, so yeah, you study this translation 1.1.1 once, twice, thrice, and think what is the key message of this particular verse. Write in one sentence. Give a heading, give a title, or give a small keywords tags from this one translation. For example, in Bengali, when I wrote here, yeah. Okay. So this particular text talks about the absolute truth, definition of absolute truth. What is absolute truth? And identity of the absolute truth. So in one short, this particular shloka 1.1.1 talks about absolute truth. Okay, go to purport. Read the purport. You can deal them as paragraph by paragraph. This purport has multiple paragraphs. So read each paragraph. From each paragraph, what do you understand? Give a title, give a heading, or at least write bullet points. After reading this particular purport, what all things are there in the purport? Just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points. Whatever you can write from this. Like Prabhupada talked about bullet point 1, Prabhupada talks about who is Krishna, who is Vasudev. Then point number 3, he talks about satellite. Like what does it talk about satellite? The main key concept behind satellite. Why does it bring it here? The analogy of that. So give some bullet points from there. So like that, each shloka you read the translation, give 1 or 2 bullet point based on translation, read the purport, give a few bullet points based on that. The Prabhupada talk this here, this is like that. Just note down. So that becomes your note. Then you share this with me. Then all the students share with me. Then I compare, I merge them together, we make a final note based on all of you. So this will help you. How does it help you? First of all, it will slow you down when you have to give a title. Like when I study, okay, I just have to read this part, I have to give a class, okay, just read it. Fine, that's one kind of study. But when I make my note, when I sit to make my note, then it becomes slow. I need to read the purport once, twice, and think what all exactly are there. First time when you read the purport, you just study it, just read it. It doesn't go much in depth. Second time you study the purport again, same purport. Okay, Prabhupada, what is he trying to say here? Okay, he's trying to say here this. So make some notes, make a bullet. Okay, point 1, point 2, point 2. Give at least 4 5 points or as much as points you can make from each purport. So write it. So that will help you to more contemplation. What we discussed that day, that the traditional verse shloka quotation which says that you can learn only 1/4 from the acharya. Only 1/4 you can learn from the teacher. The other 4th you learn by your own contemplation. The other 4th you learn by discussing with your fellow students, your fellow friends. And the last 1/4 you learn by in due course of time. More experience you gain, more time spent, and you apply these teachings in your life, and then you learn it in due course of time. So that one thing, the contemplation by your own intelligence, by your own contemplation is very important. So when you sit to read with the intention to make note here, that okay, whatever I understand, I'll just make a bullet point. I'll just make a 1 point, 2 point, just write it down. Then actually it pushes you to go in more depth. And believe me, it helps me really when I sit to make note. Sometimes you can write some poem, write some rhyming based on this purport. In Gita, I wrote something. Like Prabhupada wrote in Bengali Gitar Gan. So Bhagavad Gita is there in Sanskrit. In English, Bhagavad Gita, you have Sanskrit and English, but Bengali Bhagavad Gita, we have Sanskrit, English, Sanskrit, and Bengali prose translation and Bengali poetry. Prabhupada made it. So we are really fortunate to read it in Bengali. That Prabhupada really, and Prabhupada was very much hopeful about that Gitar Gan. In Calcutta, in those days, they used to play Rabindra Sangeet, Rabindranath Thakur songs in bus, tram, and in local places. So Prabhupada had a desire that let Gitar Gan be played there. And His Holiness Bhakti Vaibhava Maharaj, he made a professional recording through other singers in 1996, Prabhupada centennial time. So those Gitar Gan is there. So nicely, Prabhupada, actually, sometimes when you read the Gitar Gan, Prabhupada even gave more purport there in Gitar Gan. Very clear and message he gave there in the form of poetry. Bhagavad Gita in the form of poetry, Bengali poetry. Similarly, you can do in English. You can read the purport, and what do you understand from this purport? What is the key message of this particular purport by Srila Prabhupada? Take this theme, write 2 3 sentences rhyming, and keep it. So that rhyming and that what you wrote now, that will be with you whole life. After 10 years also, you come and revise this shloka. Oh, I wrote this 10 years back. Wow, yeah. Then exactly remember what all you thought while writing this. I was thinking, wow. Exactly, you remember what you wrote when you come and revise it again. So that becomes your study note, and then you also give class, and your note is already ready. So that's one technique, that before we start Bhagavatam and then we go on studying Bhagavatam. So do one thing, whenever you read something, whatever you read, translation, purport, write some bullet points, short keys. And bullet points is not full sentence, like some key heading. For example, in this purport, Prabhupada is talking about ideal bona fide spiritual master. Okay, just wrote the bullet point. Number one, bona fide spiritual master. Number two, duty of a disciple. Number three, relationship between guru and disciple. Okay, number four, bogus spiritual master. Number five, um, who is a guru. Number six, like that. So some points this purport talks about guru tattva. Okay, then you give a final title of a guru tattva. This particular purport talks about guru tattva is the final title about this, just like what Prabhupada gave here. I showed you that day, what Prabhupada gave there in the table of contents. This will give you more idea. You see the table of content Prabhupada gave, purpose of the Gayatri Mantra. See, in 44 number page, Prabhupada talked about purpose of the Gayatri Mantra. Then Parameshwara, the Supreme, three divisions of Vedic ways, exchange of rasas between two equals, watering the root of the tree, symptoms of men in the age of quarrel of Kali. So Prabhupada gave these titles, these keywords, these few phrases, headings. You can make key tag words also, like in Facebook or YouTube, they have hashtag this, hashtag that. So you can make some hashtag humility, hashtag tolerance, hashtag all these qualities of Vaishnavas, hashtag mercy, hashtag compassion, hashtag Vaishnava Parad, offense, hashtag the holy name. Like that, you can create lots of hashtags. Then what you do, if you make it digitalize it, wrote it in a computer, then you can just go to that page and just search hashtag humility. Whatever you wrote for humility, everything comes together in one place. Hashtag tolerance. So whatever you made note regarding in your studying Bhagavad, everything comes together. So like that, you make your own search engine. It's easier. So you do it and you share with me or share with us in the group that okay, I read this chapter, this 5 slokas, and these are my notes. So share your notes in groups. Other students also will share them in the group. So each other get inspired by that. Each other will see how, like, then we can see that this is a particular text and Mataji wrote it from this perspective. Her note is this. Another devotee wrote from another perspective. So we can compare, we can see different devotees' perspective, how they read the same verse and how they made their notes. We can compare that. It's really amazing. We can see somebody else's perspective also, learn from there. And then we can compare and combine them, make a final note. So you can publish it as a PDF copy also. Or later on, we can even, if possible, we can publish it as a book also, that this is the note for study guide for Bhagavatam. So many devotees upcoming, they will be benefited by that, seeing those notes. It will be easier for them. So I request one thing, that take it seriously whenever you study, make here some note and share with us. Okay. For example, that shloka from Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Okay. Chapter 18. Text 66. Simple verse. I hope every one of us know this verse. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhya Moksheshyami Mashucha. Abandon all varieties of religion, and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Read this translation again. And give me some taglines, some headings. What do you think? In this particular shloka, what is Krishna talking about? If we want to make some keywords, tag words, or some headings.
Why not try to do this for the study?
Sorry?
Why are we not doing it for 111?
No, I'm just saying because just as an example, because this one everyone knows it. This was the common verse. Common verse 18.6 Sarvadharma Parityajya Mamekam. So abandon all varieties. So because it's a simple thing. Just 2 lines. That's why I choose that. Yeah. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So, what do you suggest here?
It's a Paribhasa Sutra.
Okay. Okay, we can say Paribhasha Sutra of Gita. What else? Is number okay? You can say 1, 2. What else can be there? Sorry. Surrender. Yeah. Sorry, surrender. Okay. Hashtag surrender, fear, or overcoming fear. We can say this talks about sins or how to be free from. We can, if we want to make a title, how to be free from sin. What else? Really, real meaning of surrender. Yeah, good. Real meaning of surrender. What is the real meaning of surrender? Surrender unto me. So you can real meaning of surrender. Can you say Krishna's promise? Krishna's promise. Hmm. Can I say final instruction? The final instruction. The final instruction. Hmm. Religion or abandon all be varieties of religion as just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Yeah. Hmm. Religion, real religion. What is the real religion? We can say. So how many you got from one part? Just it looks simple. Just 2 lines. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Hmm. Just 2 lines, but from that we got 7 points. Like the read 1 or 2 lines, 3 lines, read a small paragraph, and try to put what all thoughts comes in your mind, like the bullet points. In that way, we can make our notes nicely. Okay. Okay. So now we are studying 1.1.1. Here we can have the main point is absolute truth. So we read that day the meanings of each words. Janmadhyastayata, the Supreme Lord, who is the source of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Anvayad itaratascha artheshu avigga, and he is directly and indirectly aware of everything. He is knowledgeable of everything. Avigyaha, he knows everything. And swarat, he is independent. He doesn't need to depend on anyone. Tene Brahmaridayu Adikavaya, and he is the one who revealed this transcendental knowledge in the heart of Brahma in the beginning of creation. Okay. Muhyanti Yasurayaha, and even the demigods, the devas, they are also bewildered, confused to understand his pastimes. Tejavari Mridam Yatha Binimayo Yatro Trisargo Mrisha, just like is mirage. Example, simple example is mirage. We are confused that there is water. So Teja, Vari, Mridam. Teja is fire, Vari is water, and Mrida means earth. we confuse one into another, illusioned by that. Yatha vinimayo, yatra trisargo mrisha. So like that, Trisarga, the Satta, Raja, Tamas, all these creations are there. Through him, this world, like a mirage, appears real, even to great sages and demigods. Because of him, the material universes created by the three modes of nature appear to be factual, although they are unreal. Satyam param dhimahi, dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam. Nirasta kuhakam is that he is the one who destroys all maya, all illusion. Satyam param dhimahi, and I worship him. Satyam param dhimahi. So, in this purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about the absolute truth, descriptions of absolute truth. So, Prabhupada is talking about that. Who is Krishna? Who is the absolute truth? He is a person, he is a personality, supreme personality. He is not impersonal. Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. So, that's the point, that he is a personality. Hmm. Hmm. Person Sri Vyasdev asserts herein that Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. He's the original personality of Godhead, and he's the son of Vasudev and Devaki, source of everything. Source of everything. Jiva Goswami Pad has even more explicitly explained the subject matter of Sri in his Krishna Sandarbha. So Jiva Goswami has Shat Sandarbhas, 6 Sandarbhas. The Shat Sandarbhas, we can say these are more essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam's teachings, Jiva Goswami Pad, he thematically discusses there. Discussed in Samveda and all. So this 1.1.1, this shloka talks about few things in a sense. It talks about, first of all, it offers obeisance to the absolute truth. It gives definition of absolute truth. It describes the absolute truth, and it compares the absolute truth with living beings, jivas, with the Brahma, with the relative truth of this material world. So these are the points we get from 1.1.1. So see, this is my note, what I am making. It talks about obeisance to absolute truth, definition of the absolute truth. It talks about, it describes absolute truth, compares with living beings, with Brahma, with relative truth. So these are the, in essence, we can say, purport of 1.1.1 talks about this. 1.1.1, we can see, defining the subject matter. This is 1.1.1 and purport. Okay, purport talks about these points. Simple. So I read the entire purport and I made these notes. Similarly, you read the purport and you make your own notes in all the purports. So Prabhupada talks here that obeisances to absolute truth. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. What does it denote, or what does this indicate? It indicates Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And we get more information reference for this from Samved Upanishad, from Bhagavad Gita, from Padma Puran, Brahma Samhita, Krishna Sandarbha, all these books talks about this. Then for Krishna's unlimited names, Anantanam, Krishna name is the primary name. This also discussed here. Then Prabhupada talks that the name Vasudeva, why Vyasdev choose this particular name, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He could say other names also. But this particular name Vasudeva has two significance. What? First of all, Vasudeva indicates the plenary portion of the personality of Godhead. Vasudeva Pradyumna Aniruddha Sankarshan, we know Chaturbhyuha. And all the different forms of Lord being identical with Vasudeva are indicated in this text. They are indicated in this text, number one. Again, second point, the name Vasudeva particularly indicates the divine son of Devaki and Vasudeva and Devaki. So by using this one word, Vyasdev is identifying that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Krishna, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, is the original supreme personality of Godhead. That's why he is using this particular name. So now then he gives the definition of absolute truth in paragraph 2, second paragraph. In this paragraph, he gives the definition of absolute truth. So we go ahead. Obeisance to the absolute truth. Vasudeva. Vasudeva. Indicates plenary portion of Krishna. And son of Devaki. Then definition of absolute truth. Here Prabhupada discusses how Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amal Puran, spotless Purana. How everything is manifested from Sri Krishna. He is the source of everything. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recommends this. He also approves this because all the pastimes of Krishna are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Srimad Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved Srimad Bhagavatam as the ultimate Pramana, ultimate truth, spotless Purana. And then also Prabhupada discusses the glorious history of Srimad Bhagavatam, how Mahamuni Vyasdev, Vedavyas, he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam in the mature state of his meditation, transcendental knowledge. So, in discussing definition of absolute truth, Prabhupada talks about the spotless Srimad Bhagavatam, the spotless Purana Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Then, and in paragraph of 3, in third paragraph, Prabhupada talks about how Srimad Bhagavatam gives answers to all the questions regarding creation, maintenance, and annihilation. How we can get all the questions from Srimad Bhagavatam regarding annihilation, creation, maintenance. And Krishna is the annihilator, maintainer, and destroyer. And he is the source behind everything. He is the root cause behind all these things. He is the brain behind everything, Prabhupada is saying here. And also how this destroys atheism. You can say paragraph para 2 talks this. Para 3 talks about Srimad Bhagavatam answers. Creation. Then you go to paragraph 4. And in paragraph 4, Prabhupada gives an analogy. Analogy of satellite. Yeah, correct. It's in paragraph 4. This is paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4. Satellites. If a man's brain can produce a space satellites, one can very easily imagine how brains higher than man can produce similarly wonderful things which are far superior. So he gives analogy of satellite, space satellite. Space satellite. And then this also discusses how Krishna is the Supreme Lord, is the Supreme Personality. He is a personality and he is the most intelligent person. He is inconceivable and nothing is greater than him. How Vyasadeva accepted me as accepted him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I can show you how I made my Bengali notes. Okay. See, I made it like this. So from this number 4 paragraph, I made a flowchart like this. The Supreme Lord, he is the Supreme Personality, and he has a personality. He is a Supreme Person, and then he is the best intelligent person. He has inconceivable potency. Nothing is greater than him or equal to him. Vyasadeva accepts him as the personality of Godhead. Okay. From then goes to paragraph number 7. He gives a example of engineer and Supreme Lord. Yeah. So point I am showing it that this is my note I made in this format in Bengali. So yeah, again, from Sri Vishwan Chakravarti Thakur gave 5 explanations to this verse comparison to this. So flowchart, diagram, you can play with it, whichever, it's your note, whatever you want to do, mind map and this and that, whatever you can do, just do it. Idea is that we study Bhagavatam, we meditate on Supreme Lord, contemplation. So when you read, you try to make your note, comparison box, that flowchart, diagram, mind map. So it also writing some poetry, rhyming. So that actually pushes you to contemplate, deeply meditate more on the subject matter. Oh yeah, this is like that, like that. So that's the success of studying, or that's the main purpose of studying Bhagavatam, that we deeply meditate on this. Then Prabhupada also talks about here. Okay, he goes to description of absolute truth. There he gives the analogy. Paragraph 7. It's in paragraph 7. It talks analogy of engineer. Engineer versus Supreme Lord. Prabhupada gave the analogy of engineer and Supreme Lord. How the engineer, chief engineer, he doesn't go and, like, for example, we want to make a 5-story building. There is chief engineer. He will not go and take all this brick and sand, cement on his head and go make the building alone. He just makes a plan. He makes a drawing or plan and he gives to the contractor. Contractor makes it. So engineer personally doesn't come and see each and every day and each and every nook and corner of the building. But engineer knows the entire plan, what is what, because he is the one who made the plan behind it. So through his expansions, all these contractors, all these laborers, he makes it done. Similarly, Supreme example is Prabhupada gives a similar Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not locally doing these and that, everything micromanagement. He made his system, demigods, his representative, they do everything. They do everything. And he just the Supreme Lord, but he knows everything through his expansions. He knows everything, just like the engineer knows his building. Prabhupada gave a second analogy here, analogy to that how in chemical laboratory, the chemist, the scientist, they can create water, but they can create water out of oxygen and hydrogen. This oxygen, hydrogen are created by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh. What is spelling of scientist?
C.
Okay. Scientists create water. Scientists create water. Then Prabhupada gave another analogy to of Achintya Bheda Tattva. Bhed, abhed. Achintya Bhed, abheda Tattva. The theory of simultaneous difference and oneness. The unique teachings, contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada gave the analogy of gold mine and gold ring. Gold mine, gold ring. Gold mine and gold ring. So just like I might have a gold ring here. How much gold do I have? 10 grams. 10 grams gold, I have got gold ring. But the gold mine, it's filled with gold. So my 10-gram gold ring is equal to that gold mine in quality. Same quality of gold. It's pure gold. I have pure gold in my ring, in my finger, is as good as that gold mine ring, a gold mine. Same. In quality, it's same. But in quantity, it's just 10 gram. And that carries a huge quantity of gold there. The same thing. In quality, we are same with God. But in quantity, Krishna is supreme, he is Vibhu, and we are Anu, we are tiny, infinitesimal. We are insignificant in front of him. Prabhupada gave an analogy there. Then in paragraph 8, Prabhupada talks about how starting from ant to Lord Brahma, everyone creates something. Brahma is creating, well, small ants also create something, make something, this and that. But nobody is independent from Supreme Lord. Para 8. Yeah. Paragraph 8 talks about this. Prabhupada also talks in paragraph 8 that how in our body, just like if something happens, a mosquito comes and bites me in my hand, immediately understand, or it bites in my, immediately my hand goes there to slap it. So I understand what's happening in my body. Similarly, Supreme Personality of God, he understands what's happening in this entire creation. Hmm. Another analogy is given here. We understand or we understand our body. Creation. We understand the body, Lord understand creation. Simple. Then paragraph 9 talks about how is the comparison between compare the absolute truth with living beings. Hmm. In para 9 he talks avigya and swarat. Abhigya swarat. This comparison he brings it here, how he compares with Brahma. I talk compared to Einstein. Einstein, EIN. Is it? Yes. Einstein compares with atheist. He compares with the Mayavadis. Prabhupada compares with them with the Supreme Lord. How even Brahma has to pray to Krishna in order to create. He need to beg mercy from Krishna in order to create. Similarly, Einstein, the atheists, the Mayavadis, whatever they must do, but they are just infinitesimal. They are nothing, insignificant in front of Krishna, and not independent from Krishna. Then also it compares the absolute truth with Lord Brahma in this para 9 only. How even Brahma is not so again he brings it as Tanya Brahmarida Yoadikava. He discusses this Tanya Brahmarida. There also compares with Brahma, but from in respect to Avigya and Swarat in paragraph 9. But again he compares Brahma with Supreme Lord in respect to Tene Brahmarida Yoadikava. Tene Brahmarida. Para 9 he compares like Brahma is not Supreme Lord. Krishna is the ultimate maintainer. Everything comes from Krishna. Okay. Then he compares the absolute truth and with relative truth in paragraph 6. We made a thematic of this purport. It talks about how this material world, it's real creation. Its cause, its purpose, cause and purpose. What is the cause of material world? Three gunas, combination of three gunas. And what is the purpose of that? The purpose of that is to create illusion. So, yeah, we can say it like this. Material creation is reflection of spiritual world. And what is its cause? Its cause is how come it came here? The cause is combination of three modes, nature, three gunas, and its purpose. Purpose is to create illusion. So this thing Prabhupada talks in his purport. That's why Muhyantiya Surayaha. Muhyantiya Surayaha. So then at the end he defines Param Satya as Dhyaya, the ultimate object of meditation. Gayatri, definition of Gayatri here. Then few further points. What is happening here? Defining absolute truth as object of meditation. Param Dhimahi. This is another point. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Dhimahi. Gayatri. Gayatri Mantra. Invocation of Gayatri Mantra. So further he talks about Gayatri Mantra. Many points are there. Gayatri Mantra is for spiritually advanced person, for spiritually advanced person, and how through Gayatri Mantra gradually we progress and we become pure. Then Prabhupada talks about the authenticity of Srimad Bhagavatam. Authenticity of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada talks that also in the paper. How Bhagavatam was written by Vyasdev, not of Vopadev. Then Matsya Puran, in Matsya Puran is described about Bhagavatam. Padma Puran discusses about Bhagavatam. Other Purans also said that it has 12 cantos and 18,000 verses. Then the different commentator, Jiva Goswami Pad, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Vallabhacharya, and Prabhupada writes here that an Prabhupada writes here that serious learner, see that here, yeah. Within the past 500 years, many erudite scholars and acharyas like Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Vallabhacharya, and many other distinguished scholars, even after the time of Lord Chaitanya, made elaborate commentaries on the Bhagavatam. And the serious student would do well to attempt to go through them to better release the transcendental message. So, yeah, serious student can go and study those purpose commentaries of acharyas, but first of all, we study Prabhupada, and then we'll see. Then also, how to study Bhagavatam, how to study. Prabhupada talks about that. Don't jump into 10th canto first, gradually. Then first study the first 9 cantos. It's in preface also, you saw it. Then also Prabhupada talks about Bhagavat Prem and Kam. Last in para 13. At the end, Prabhupada talks about Prema versus Kama. How this is, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said that this first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam talks about the Adi Rasa, the original Rasa Milo, that is love between Krishna and his devotees, gopis, Madhurya Rasa, Adi Rasa, Janmadi Yasya, the beginning of that. So then Prabhupada talks about how this lust between men and women in this material world is not the same in spiritual world, prema. The love between Krishna and the gopis is not ordinary lust, is although it looks same. So lust in this world is the reflection of the spiritual prema. Like in Bhagavad Gita, we read chapter 15, Urdha Mula Madhar Shakam, the tree, upside down tree. So where do you see that upside down tree? On the lake or pond. If there is a tree on the bank of that, then upside down reflection we can see. So what you see, the highest, the top branch of the tree, the original tree, you can see the lowest branch, at the bottom point of the reflection. So that means similarly, in spiritual world, the topmost tattva theory, the topmost thing is prema, madhurya rasa. And that same thing becomes the bottom, the lowest thing in material world, that is kama. So yeah, that's what purport of Prabhupada. That's what Srila Prabhupada's this big purport. Okay. So these are the main points, and then some points we wrote there. So that's what my note from 1.1 to 1.1. Similarly, you study, you make your own notes from all the purports. Study, write down something. Study, write down what is, okay, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you understand? Just write it down. So next time, like I made my note few years back. So whenever I have to give class, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bengali, English, or other thing also, whatever I have to give class, okay, let's just open my note. What did I write there? It's easy for me. I can just remember. So along with your study, make note. I couldn't make the note when I studied first. So I now lament the why didn't I make that time. So that would be more easier, because that time I studied as a student. If I would make note at that time, it would be easier for me. So now I have to study again to make note. So I could make for first canto only, then later I couldn't make. Now I am trying to, we are having Bengali Bhakti Vaibhava, and we are also engaging the students, the group projects. They make notes like this and they are making. So we are planning to make it for entire Bhagavatam for Bengali. Similarly, English also you can make, provided if you take it, interest in that, and you make it and share with me. So yeah, this is 1.1.1. And in next class, we will go in 1.1.2. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.